This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this session entitled Tourism Businesses Make TikTok Work for You. My name is Andrew Craig and I'm here on behalf of Visit Scotland. And I'm delighted to say that today I'll be joined for this session by Emma Baker, who's here on behalf of NS Design. I'll just give a few brief housekeeping points before I hand things over to Emma, who's going to be taking today's session. If you have this session is being recorded today, so if that phases you or you don't want any of your details possibly to be displayed on screen at any time, please leave. Recording, uh, the session, sorry, is being recorded and will be sent out to all registrants in the following days. We also are allowing questions in today's session, and they're done via the chat option within GoToMeeting. Feel free to put a word of message of hello into the and where you're joining us from today into the chat box. And if you have any questions throughout the session, feel free to pop them in and we'll try and answer as many questions as we can during the session. We'll also have 5 or 10 minutes at the end to cover any questions that we have missed. Without further ado, I'll hand things over to Emma, who'll take it from here.
Hello, and thank you very much, Andrew, for that introduction. It's brilliant to be joining you all today at this session. I'm really looking forward to getting started. And hello to Cindy. Thanks for sharing your details. We'll get some introductions in just a minute. I wanted just to flag up a few links and so on about Digital Boost. This session's organised in conjunction with them. There's lots of support through Visit Scotland and also through Digital Boost for your business. And if you're new to Business Gateway and you're new to Digital Boost, these slides will be shared at the end, and you'll have these links to take you to the website for information about webinars that are run on subjects like TikTok, and also local offices that can give you one-to-one support, and where you can apply for one-to-one digital consultancy. Without further ado, though, let's get on to TikTok, because we've only got an hour, and it'd be great to make sure we can get through all this. I will just very quickly copy this link in here. I'll be sharing this at the end, but I do like to just share the link to the slides right at the start, just in case there's any of you that have to rush off at the end, or get something waylaid by some business and you have to leave before the end of the session. All the slides for the session will be available at that link, just as a PDF that you can view at any time you want. So I'll be talking through a lot of information today, and there'll be links on the screen. I'll try and share some of them in the chat, but just rest assured that you don't have to take note of everything. You'll get that slide at the end with all the clickable links to tutorials and examples and websites and the things I'm talking about today. Today we're really trying in a short 1 hour session get get to grips with TikTok a little bit, understand what's unique about TikTok as a platform, and also why it's unique for the tourism business as well. We'll look at getting started on TikTok, because I know a lot of people haven't really explored it very much. So setting up an account, optimizing your account and your profile for the best impact for your business. And then thinking about a strategy for your content. What should you be creating? What works? What's going to connect with your audience, and also what's good for you and your personality and the resources that you have available to you. And we'll look at some of the creative tools that are available in TikTok that help you make fun, engaging content to get your message out there, to get your business noticed, and to kind of cut through a lot of what's going on online. And finally, we'll look at measuring your success. That's obviously really important. You don't want to be putting a whole load of effort into a platform like TikTok and not understanding whether it's really having an impact on your business and on your engagement and so on. So we'll look at how TikTok analytics can really help with that. So that's great. I see people are already introducing themselves. I'm going to ask you to do that in just a minute. Briefly, a little bit about myself. My name's Emma Baker. I've been running a communications and PR consultancy business for the last 10 years. I work with Gary Ennis at NS Design, doing a lot of training for video production, smartphone video production. I spend quite a lot of time making videos for people, making content, but also training people how to use their smartphones to make better videos. And that, of course, has led me quite naturally to the whole world of bite-sized vertical video and TikTok. I actually started off my whole career as an English teacher, so I didn't begin with any specialist knowledge of video or social media or TikTok. I have learned everything by doing, and that's what I would encourage you to do after this session. Get hands-on with the platform, with your mobile phone, and really explore it, play around with it, because that's the only way you learn these kind of technical and creative skills, using your phone to make interesting, engaging content. So some people have already started introducing themselves. I'd love to just get an overview of what businesses are in today and what kind of part of the tourism sector you're serving. So please do just quickly let me know your business, and also let me know your experience with TikTok really quickly. Have you posted before? Yes or no? And maybe a little detail if you have posted. I'd like to get an overview of that. Apologies. I see some people saying you can't see the slides. I think I had been sharing them initially right at the start. I do apologise, people. Here we go. So all you've missed very briefly is just while you introduce yourself, I'll just scoot back very quickly. We have the opening slide there, and then we have the information about Digital Boost and a little rundown of today's agenda, along with the slides and my introduction. Thank you very much for flagging that up. Brilliant. So we've got some people using TikTok. Sometimes we've got it's flashing up very quickly. I'll have a wee review of it. North Coast Touring Park. We've got a museum. We have got hospitality in Wick. Just started using TikTok. Drumhead Cottage self catering. Never used TikTok before. Sally from Skedaddle, guided tours, guided trail running tours, fantastic. Never used TikTok, just kind of getting to grips a little bit with Instagram. And Instagram Reels there's a real crossover, obviously, between TikTok and Instagram Reels. And the whole bite-sized vertical video is spreading out across all platforms, Facebook as well. You can create Reels there. Wow, started the Scottish Dolphin Centre TikTok page, posted 4 videos so far, and already I'm getting a feel for the businesses in here. And what's wonderful about tourism and the industry that you're in is your businesses are very visual. They're very visually appealing, and that's why TikTok is a unique opportunity for you. If you're doing guided tours, if you've got a cottage, if you're in a beautiful location somewhere, if you in hospitality and you're making beautiful food every day, or if you're in arts and kind of artisan kind of creation, selling to tourists, selling within the tourism sector. Again, these are all visual businesses where you're doing things all the time. And there's things to show people. And I think we can be quite, a lot of people can be quite nervous of the world of TikTok. They ask the question, isn't it all just kids? Isn't it all just lip syncing and dancing? And some of you might be thinking, brilliant, that's me, that's my personality, I want to dance. But many of you will be thinking, well, that's not me at all. I'd want to avoid that as much as possible. But really, I would encourage you to reframe your thinking about TikTok. If that's your kind of questions that you're coming in with, yes, there's lots of teenagers there, but teenagers are not teenagers rather, Gen Z, they're 43% of the TikTok audience, which is a lot, but that leaves a whole over 50% of the audience that are older than 24 years old. So there is a market for, no matter who you're trying to appeal to, no matter who your target audience is, there's a market there for you. And also the idea of dancing. That's what made TikTok really popular. Yes, there's lots of dances and lots of trends and things, but really it's just people doing things, people documenting their lives, people showing you the location, the setting, the stories of their life, and the fact that that's available to everyone to be able to do that really easily and really cheaply on their smartphone. So don't think about dancing, think about just showing your business, showing the things that you do every day in your business, and reframe there. So another answer to the question, isn't it all just kids? Isn't it all young people? Maybe that's not your business. Maybe that is, and you're thinking that's why you want to get onto TikTok. But do bear in mind that today's teenagers are tomorrow's travelers. In fact, your kind of early 20s, late teens are the ideal kind of traveling audience, people who have maybe taking gap years, people who don't have responsibilities and children and are wanting to come and explore. And there's a big audience on TikTok for that kind of holiday, that kind of travel experience. There's of course lots of TikTok creators who are travelers and going around and influencing people to visit different places. So it'd be really worthwhile for you to be in that space, having conversations with these kinds of people. And also, just an interesting bit of research, 75% of parents involve their children in holiday making decisions. So if they're on TikTok and they see some beautiful Scottish scenery, or a fantastic self-catering cottage, or a fun tour guide experience or museum that really resonates with them, chances are they're going to influence their parents and tell them about it. You can see as well other key statistics why TikTok is a great audience to have is it's massive and it's growing and it's worldwide. So for yourselves in the tourism industry, wanting to attract people from all over the world, you have that audience there available to you. 1 billion active viewers all around the world, sixth most used social media platform in the world, and ranked fourth in the UK as people's favourite social media app. And if you want to find out more about the stats, there's some links there for a little bit later. What else makes it unique? Well, as I said, it's visual, and you have visual businesses, and Scotland is a visual location with lots of beautiful landscapes and fascinating experiences to share. And I'm just going to play these videos. It's don't have time to play them with the sound. They've got the sound off, but you can see this is from an influencer traveling around the UK. This immersive experience that the app can give you to very quickly and very simply, for a very low budget, make take short clips, 3 or 4 or 5 second clips on your phone. If you take 10 short clips of your experience or what you're doing, you can stitch that together in a video. You can add a voiceover, you can add some music, and you can very quickly, for a very low budget, get very, very high reach with your videos. And both of these videos that I'm showing here, that's all that people have done. They've got a mobile phone, they've filmed 5 to 10 second clips as they go along throughout their day, and then they pick the best bit, stitch it together, and tell a little story. And within the app itself, or just on your phone using third-party apps, you can do that yourself. You can add a voiceover, you can add music, and bring all those elements together. And the fact that it's only videos that are shared on TikTok makes it quite unique. Visual videos are a fantastic way to build that connection with your audience and to build trust. These two examples here are just showing the scenery, but another way to really bring people into your business is to show your face on camera. People buy from people, and they want to trust the person before they click that link to sign up for the Scottish cottage holiday, or for the museum experience, or the whiskey tour, whatever it happens to be. They want to know the person before, they want to trust before they're on the other side of the world and making this decision. So it really does make sense to show your location, show what you do, and also show your face, or the face of you, the people involved in your business. The other thing that makes it unique is that TikTok, in the terms of the algorithm, it really does favor natural, authentic content, not big budgets, not big brands, not huge influencers, although I have to be honest with you, it is starting to change a little bit. But definitely it's still worth getting on the app to share your authentic experience. People go there to really find a tailored algorithm that brings them content that just fits exactly with what they're interested in. So no matter what your niche is, or how obscure it is in terms of your business, there is a worldwide audience there for you, and there are people within that audience who are really interested in what you uniquely offer, what your unique expertise is, what your unique passion is, or your unique product is. And the algorithm will find those people for you in terms of the content that you create, the hashtags you use, and the keywords that you use to get your message out there. Why else is it good for tourism? Well, I mentioned, 43% of the audience are Gen Z. I think it's about 30% are millennials. And this, not that millennials are massively young, but they're a younger demographic. They really do value direct engagement with brands, and they value that authenticity, almost like feeling the brands are their friends, showing up in their feed every day. And again, I'll just play this without sound, but this is Ryanair. They've had massive success on TikTok, just playing on the fact that they're cheap, they're budget, they're no frills, and their advertising, if you like, this organic advertising they're doing on TikTok, is also cheap and budget, just using these little tools within the app. But it then feels, I'll play it, it's over so quickly. That's the other great benefit of TikTok. You don't need to make big long videos, 5 to 10 seconds, just using a soundtrack. This is got a kind of squeaky voice soundtrack. You add your face using one of the creative tools to the aeroplane, and people feel they have that connection, like the brand is their friend. This is Delta Airlines. Again, getting behind the scenes, getting in amongst the, something seen as normally quite serious, the pilots there. It's a real chance to connect your personality, your people, your location with an audience, so that they feel that trust before they come and buy for you. This is a family-run hotel in Italy, obviously very, very high end, but look how video can immerse the audience in whatever experience you have to offer. It's so visual, and it's so kind of and it's such an immediate way to connect people to your business. I've said that there's a niche for everyone, and I do think what you want to be on the app for is not to sell stuff, not to come on and be directly salesy, but to share knowledge, share experience, share views, share passion with the audience, and win yourself fans, people who are interested in the same kind of stuff that you're offering as a business. And you can start to have a look. Why is it good for the tourism business? Well, there's a huge audience out there on the app looking for content around tourism. So hashtag TikTok travel is one of the most popular hashtags. It was in the top 20, 38 billion views. I think it was number 6. Visit Scotland, 631.4 million views on any video using that hashtag. So if you can tap into what those hashtags are and what people are watching, and I'll show you how to kind of do a bit of research on that later, there really is a huge audience there for you. And think about the mindset as well of the typical TikTok viewer. Here's some more from the top 20. Explore, 24.5 billion views. That's what people are interested in, explore and challenge. And if your business brings on that element, then use that hashtag. Food is another hugely popular one in the top 20. Learn on TikTok as well. It's definitely not just dancing and lip syncing and silly, entertaining content. I'm sure many of you have massive knowledge about your product, your local area, walks, sightseeing attractions. Your TikTok account could just be educating people about your local area, not even necessarily directly about your business, but just about what your area has to offer, and thus kind of bringing people in who are interested in that and want to connect with you. I'll just take a brief pause. I'm happy for people to jump in and ask questions at any time about anything that I see. Julie, you're saying you've seen some of those TikToks already. Yeah, that's a really good question, Nina. It's going to be banned in the UK. How's this going to impact us as local attractions? I think that's something to keep an eye on. The same thing has happened quite a few times where there's been a suggestion that TikTok would be banned because of the security issues. My feeling is that's something that will be overcome, something that they will be able to work around. But something to be aware of, perhaps while it's still in the news, to kind of be wary of as a business before you pour everything into it. And I think it's a real, it's not unique to TikTok. Whatever social media platform you're using, you don't own that content, if you like. If whether you're on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, you don't own that content. And so while they are massively beneficial tools for marketing your business and connecting with an audience, there is always that risk there that, Facebook changed their algorithm, which they did a few years ago, making it really hard for your business to actually connect with people. Instagram do the same quite regularly. So I would encourage you to approach it with caution, and also for all of you, if you're making this content, have it backed up in other places, store it elsewhere, upload to multiple platforms, and we'll talk about the actual practicalities of making a video later on in the session. You don't have to create everything in TikTok and have it just all stored in TikTok. You don't have to have all your video eggs in one basket, if you like. You can create on third-party apps, and then you can upload that same content to Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and really make it work for you across the board. And one of the reasons to do that is to obviously spread to a wider audience, but also to protect yourself, that you have that content spread out. So thanks for that. Um, And thank you also for Rosalind for popping in with that. It's one of those headlines that suggests TikTok's going to be banned, but it is, as Rosalind's saying, it's more for people in official roles in government positions and so on. I will recommend third-party apps later, and then also we'll be talking about licensing of the music. So let's think about, for those of you particularly who haven't set up an account, but even if you have set up an account, how do you optimize that? How do you make it work for you most powerfully as a business? And the first choice you have to make is between a business account or a personal account. In the past, a lot of businesses actually went with the personal account, funnily enough. And the reason for that is one of the main differences between the two accounts is your access to sounds, which will answer that question about copywriting music. So if you've got a personal account, you get access to all the pop music, all the licensed music, like in this example here, Miley Cyrus Flowers, which is trending at the moment or was a few weeks ago. If you've got a personal account and you search for that because you want to use it as your soundtrack, you'll get the actual Miley Cyrus track. If you're on a business account and you search for that, um, even if you put Miley Cyrus in there, as I forgot to do, you will get royalty-free music. They call them commercial sounds, which I think is a bit confusing. Really what they mean is royalty-free music tracks. So music, like using the Miley Cyrus Flowers track, can really propel your video to a wider audience because the algorithm, if a music track is trending, the algorithm will send that out to more people. So you might want a personal account if you think that's what really you're going to be using TikTok for. You want all those soundtracks. However, there are other benefits of the business account that might change your mind. And one thing to point out is a lot of these royalty-free tracks that are available on TikTok are only available on TikTok, and many of them are viral soundtracks that are really, really popular on the platform. So you're not completely losing access to viral music and good music as well. It's really some really cracking music on the business account. The other thing you're often not using access to is when people upload original audio. So you'll have seen, if you're on TikTok or Reels, you see when people do those lip syncing videos maybe, and they're mouthing the same words as somebody said in a film. You'll get access to some of those tracks on the commercial, on the business account. Not all of them, it's a bit hit and miss, but many of them will be available to you as well as on the personal account. So swings and roundabouts really with that, about what's most important to you, the sound or these other benefits. And I think the key two things to really flag up is that on the business account, right from the off, you get a clickable email address link in your profile, which you do not get in the personal account and you never get in the personal account. You also will get a clickable web page link, but only once you've accrued 1,000 followers or more. That's for the business account. Um, it used to be on the personal account that you would also get a clickable web page link, but they really have changed that recently. And so I more and more would be veering towards recommending businesses to use the business account and maybe not get too hung up on the music, because I think these two things alone are much more helpful for your kind of marketing funnel, your sales funnel. If you can't take people very easily somewhere else, then it's a bit tricky. You also on the business account, excuse me, get a business suite, so more advanced analytics. Also analytics you can access on a desktop account. Analytics you can download. You can also work with some third-party apps and schedule posts from your desktop using their business account, and you definitely can't do that on the personal account. Excuse me. If you want to change your account, you can kind of play around with them. You can go backwards and forwards while you're getting used to TikTok, figure out what's best for you, and you can just refer to this later when you're playing around with it yourself. When you're on your profile page, you come up to the menu on the top right with the three lines and come to settings and privacy at the bottom, and then you can switch to business or switch to personal account quite easily. And you, like I say, go backwards and forwards until you just see what the differences are and find what's best for you. And this slide is just a little list of some of the useful tools that you can get inside like the business suite, promoting your posts, getting leads. And the TikTok are really keen to support businesses. They've got lots of resources on their webpage for businesses. And so I think there are real benefits beyond just the links to having that business account. Very briefly, optimizing your account when you set up your profile, there's just some tips here about what I think you should do. And the top two, I'll just highlight them. There are two different names when you set up your account, and you can see here there's name and there's username. So the username is the handle at Emma Baker Films. This is my personal account. And I would suggest if you're not on TikTok now, get on now, and Bagsy a good name that isn't full of numbers and that's really very directly linked to your business. Then there's this other one, which is just called name. And this one is uses search engine optimized words. So you don't get many words, but I would write this here, something that's very directly linked to the services you offer as a business or to the content you're offering on TikTok. So for me, I've written vertical video creation. That shows up at the top of my profile. And when somebody searches TikTok, those keywords, if they're looking for those keywords, that's really going to help them find me specifically. So that's just a little bit different from the handle. And I would also suggest you get kind of limited characters in your bio to describe what you do. And really think about search engine optimization there. What are the keywords that you think your audience is searching for to find your kind of service? But I would also really focus on the audience and on TikTok. Don't try to describe everything that your business does on your profile page. It's not a web page, it's a TikTok page. Rather, describe what you're going to give people on TikTok. What's your content going to be about? What you teach them, how you're going to entertain them. That's what I would concentrate on there. And finally, if you do have a business account and you get to that 1,000 plus viewers and you're able to put in that clickable link, it's a good idea to be ready at that point with something to link to, probably other than just your web page. You don't really want to limit yourself by, people can only just go to one page on your website and that's all. You want to use something like Linktree. I'm sure many of you already do this for your social media accounts. Linktree, or if you're a Canva user, you can use the BioLink website templates to give people multiple options. So once they've become interested enough in your content, they've visited your profile page, they click that link, there's quite a lot of different relevant links to take them to specifics. Maybe they just want to find out more, or maybe they want to download your document that kind of gives them 5 top tips for traveling in your area, or maybe they want to actually sign up, maybe they're ready to make a booking. You want to give them all those options so they've got kind of layers of connection with you. Some people might be ready to go straight to booking, so have that there, but some people might just want to explore and find out more. So Linktree, David, is Google it and you will find you can create an account and you can, for free, you can create something that looks a bit like this. And what it means is for Instagram and TikTok, where you've only got space for one link in your bio, you can generate more links. So if your link just goes straight to your web page, you're very limited. With Linktree, you can add in, like this person here, Visit Scotland Tours. This is a really good TikTok account to follow. You can see he's been a little bit cheeky here with the way that he's maybe piggybacking off the back of Visit Scotland and the popularity of that hashtag and the branding all around that. But he does some great guided tour educational content, so definitely worth looking at. But yes, David, this would allow you to have a link to your YouTube channel, to your booking page, and to other areas of content that you would like your audience to visit, having engaged with your videos. Basking Shark, you're asking, like IG Reel, is there tangible benefit to use current viral music to increase reach? There is. It does. The viral music will help. I mean, I've seen creators even sometimes they'll use a viral music track but turn the sound down because it doesn't fit with their content. But just the presence of the viral music track tells the algorithm. It's just another metric that the algorithm uses to decide how many people are we going to send this content to. And then also for the physical, the real life audience, the human being, when they see content with a music track that they like and they're familiar with, they're probably more likely to stay and watch and engage with it. And again, that boosts your reach with the algorithm. But it's not the only thing that gives you reach, so I wouldn't get hung up on it. What I'll talk about in a minute is actually just giving value to your audience is more important than music and gimmicks and creative tools and so on. If you're delivering, really interesting, educational, valuable content, then you don't need to worry about the gimmick of a soundtrack. But if you're wanting an easy fix and just quick content to push out there every day, then the soundtracks really do help you with that process. So getting started, I think the first thing, I'm going to go through this quite quickly because I've probably talked a bit too long in some of the previous slides. So try and get through this a little bit quickly. And I think I've answered all the questions apart from third-party apps. So we'll definitely come to that a little bit later, Jack. But getting started, if you've never been on TikTok, get on TikTok and become a consumer. And that does come with a health warning. It can consume you and suck you right in, and you can find you've just lost an hour or 2 hours of your life just endlessly scrolling, because it's a very, very entertaining app. And because the content is so short and bite-sized, it's so easy to keep scrolling onto the next one. But go on with your business hat on and with your strategy hat on, and think about how are you going to get the most out of this app for you. And it might be just to go on to decide, is it for me, is it not? And you might reject it after you've been on it. But there's real value in going on as a business and starting to research what other people are doing, look at businesses in your own niche, in your own field, from within Scotland, from the rest of the UK, from the rest of the world, and start to think strategically about, where do I fit into all of this? What can I do? And start to, it's really about researching your target audience as well. You'll see the videos that are popular, you'll see what people like, and you'll start to research, maybe, identify who's your audience, what are they interested in. Really important to tap into, what are they interested in, my particular audience, the people that I want to connect with and that hopefully want to ultimately buy from me. And what are their pain points as well? Like with any marketing, identifying the questions that they have, the problems that they face, the worries and the doubts that they have, that maybe before they book with you. Answering those questions for people, addressing those pain points, is what your videos could perhaps start to think about doing. And then think about, there's probably loads of things you could show people about your business, but try and narrow it down. The more kind of focused and niche your content is, the more likely you are to attract an audience and kind of gain a bit of traction on the platform. If you spread your content really thin and talk about lots of different subjects and every video is different, then it's harder to gain that momentum. So, for example, for myself, for our business, we do all sorts of training and content creation, from video to podcasting to writing and copywriting and social media. But on TikTok, I just talk about smartphone video tips. Just really focus in on one area of the business and find that niche and find that audience. Spend time exploring successful content. Search for accounts that are similar to your business and what you do, and try to emulate them. And as you're doing that, start saving the soundtracks, saving the videos. I'll show you how to do that in a minute, so that you kind of hit the ground running, hopefully, when you start to create yourself. And here's how you do that. When you open up TikTok, if you've never been on before, it can sometimes feel a little bit overwhelming. I think, it's quite different to other social media apps because it is all video, and because you don't see the people that you follow. By default, you're on the For You menu, and what that is TikTok algorithm trying to figure out what you like. And the more you're on TikTok, the more that For You page will be tailored to the types of content that TikTok thinks you will like. but it's also trying to maybe push certain creators and make something popular. So you'll see a real range. Once you start following people, you follow someone by tapping the plus. When you see a creator that you like, tap plus. Once you're following people, you can tap on the following menu and just look at people you follow. So that's one way to start, your research. Just follow more people in your field and look at their content. But it's also really useful to use the search button, and TikTok's brilliant for this. The keyword optimization, and to an extent hashtags as well, really help you kind of hone in on content that is going to be relevant for you. So use that. And if you make and sell pottery, then search for accounts that are around the world of pottery. If you are a tour guide, search for tour guide, and it will take you to a particular menu, and you can filter and try and find results. I'll show you that in a minute. Also, if you hear a soundtrack that is trending at that point, and I'll show you how to identify trending soundtracks, bookmark it. If you think, oh, that would work really well in one of my videos, just tap on the bookmark, and that means it's saved. And when you come to your profile page, you'll see all your bookmarked content in there. You can also just save the video, tap on the share button, and there'll be an option to save that video to your favorites. And when you go to your profile, down at the bottom there, as I say, you'll see it here. Or when you press plus to create content, that soundtrack will be in your favorites menu when you go and search your soundtracks. And you can be really, really focused if you want to be, hone in on exactly what's right for you. When you use that search button that I pointed out before, and let's say we type in family hotel, at first you'll just get all the top videos that have those keywords as part of them, so it's not too helpful. But if you come along to this menu, to users, then you'll start to see all the top accounts that are family run hotels. So we've got the Shankly Hotel here, which I think was in Ireland. And then you can go to filters and, go by number of followers, right? I don't want to see the mega popular accounts because I'm just starting off. I want to see people who are up at 1,000 or doing a bit better than me, and figure out what they're doing. Apply that filter, and then you'll see lots of relevant content, hotels from all over the world that are, 4,000 followers, 6,000 followers. So not huge brands with massive followings, but maybe people who've just been doing it a little bit longer than you. Follow them and try to figure out what they're doing to emulate them. And saving trending audio is really easy as well. This is a track called Coastline, Hollow Coves. If you search for that and you've been on TikTok, you will recognize it. It's used in lots of travel content, and here's the lyrics. There's a place I've dreamed of where I can free my mind. So it's all about escaping to some wonderful dreamlike holiday location. So if you think, oh, I could use that, you see the video using it, just tap on their little circular thumbnail, and then it brings you to this page. You can add it to your favorites, and you can also see all the other creators who've used that and get some ideas from them. Or you can straight away just use that sound and create a video using that sound. So be really strategic about researching and getting ideas. That's the beauty of TikTok. There's so many creators out there, and the reason it's grown in popularity is that it kind of thrives on people borrowing ideas from someone else, adapting it a little bit, and making it their own. It's not copying and stealing, and there aren't those copyright issues. If you have kind of taken an idea direct from someone, you could tag them in the post, but it does build on that kind of idea. Neil, that is a really good question. It's not a silly question, Neil. Traditionally on TikTok, all videos display as vertical, and if you upload a landscape video, it will just be a little kind of letterbox in the middle of the page, not very attention grabbing. But they're rolling out, if you watch on an iPad, but even now on your phone, if you turn your screen while you're watching, the vertical video will reformat, just like it does on YouTube. Sorry, the landscape video will reformat. So you can upload landscape videos. I would suggest not to do that at the moment, because I think people want to just keep their phone in vertical. They want to see content that's been made specifically for TikTok. But you can, if you filmed on a 4K kind of phone or camera in landscape, you can always crop right in on that and make a vertical video out of it. So serve your audience. This is the strategy. There's lots of creative tools that you can use, and I will talk about them. But I think ideally you want to give value to your audience. It's not about selling to them. It's about these three things: entertain, inspire, or educate. That's what TikTok themselves say. If your video can do one of these three things, then you're onto something. And probably for a lot of you, it will be educating folks, but just inspiring people by showing them great views, showing them how you make your artisan bread or make your uniquely Scottish pottery. These are all inspiring, and they inspire people to connect with you. I think posting regularly and being consistent and having a schedule is really important if you want to maximize the potential of the platform. Now, influencers and creators will say posting regularly means 3 times a day if you want to grow an audience. I would say if that's unrealistic, which for most of us it probably is, set yourself a realistic goal. Once every day, 3 times a week, but be consistent with it. If you really, really want to go for growth, then you're going to have to post at least once a day initially to kind of build that momentum. Other strategies we've mentioned this, using soundtracks, effects, and templates. So that's why it's really important to explore them and save them as you go along. Using things like Stitch and Duet. So if you find that, for example, that family-run hotel or this Visit Scotland Tours, this chap who's already got thousands of followers, I think hundreds of thousands, and you yourself are a tour guide. Well, if you find one of his videos about a location that you also talk about, then you press this share button and you get all these menu options, and you can choose to duet or stitch with his video. In a duet, your video will show up side by side with his, or you can reformat it to be a little kind of thumbnail within his whole video. There's different configurations you can use, and you can comment on what he's saying or nod along or disagree with him. Stitch is his video will make the first, I think it's 5 to 6 seconds of your video, and then you can pop up and you can add your response, you can answer his questions, and that's a way to kind of piggyback off someone else's popularity and start to grow your own audience. You can also answer questions. If somebody asked you a question in your video, you can tap on that question and you can answer it as a TikTok, and the question will appear as a graphic in the top of the screen. Or you can search for questions and answer, not questions that people have asked you directly, but questions that have been asked of somebody else, and you can answer it as a TikTok. Also, really important to use the creative tools, like although you can create your whole TikTok in a third-party app if you want to, I would suggest don't add your text or your auto captions in this other app. I would use TikTok to add any text titles or the auto captions, the subtitles, because these two things are crawlable, they're searchable by the TikTok algorithm. So if your titles use keywords and your auto captions use keywords, then it's going to help you get in front of the right audience. So I would create them natively in TikTok, but everything else you can do outside the app. When you're making your TikTok, how are you going to make sure it's popular? Well, think about the algorithm as well as thinking about the human audience and the metrics that the algorithm looks at. It views every single video in isolation. It doesn't matter what your last video was or your next video or how many followers you've got. It takes your video as an isolated unit and measures it for these things. It will send it out, let's say, for example, to 20 people at first. And based on these things, if it gets a good response, it will send it out to another 20 and then another 20. And once it stops getting good responses, it will start to shrink your audience and you'll kind of hit a ceiling. So it's how long have people viewed? Have they viewed it all the way through? So short videos viewed all the way through will perform really well. Repeated views, that's why short videos can often work really well for you, because people just end up watching it on a loop when they view it again and again. And of course, interaction and engagement. Do people like it enough to press the button or to say something or to share it? And that's where your content can come in if you encourage people with a call to action at the end of your video to like, comment, or share. Then you've got more of a chance of that video growing in popularity. So give people that choice at the end of the video. Don't tell them to visit your website. You don't want to take people away from TikTok. You can maybe write that in the caption when you post it, but don't say it in your video. Your call to action might be, let me know in the comments what you think of this, or even better, give them not too much choice. Give them a kind of yes or a no answer, or answer with an emoji if you like this. Or if you have learned something from this, share it with someone else who could benefit from it. The biggest challenge with your video is going to be stopping people from scrolling on. So you want to make sure the first 2 to 3 seconds have a hook, something that grabs people's attention, either some movement, some sound, something visually interesting, or just the words that you say, making sure the audience understands what it's all about. So I would start my videos by saying, if you run a business and you want to make better videos, watch this now. Or if you want to know what microphone to buy for your video, I'm going to tell you. So in the first 3 seconds, they know, oh, this is for me, or it's not for me. That's really all the hook is. Hashtags are quite important on TikTok, not as important as in Instagram, but do use them. And make sure you've got maybe 2 hashtags that are specific to your video, and then you can maybe reuse some of these other hashtags around your location and the niche subject that you talk about. And do spend time after you've posted answering questions, commenting, interacting with your audience. Okay, I'm going to quickly buzz through this and let you explore this stuff in your own time. I said that the key thing is to give people value in your content, either entertain them, inspire them, or educate them, and use that as kind of pillars for thinking about your content. And I've just put in a whole load of links here to some examples, some from tourism, some from elsewhere, about different types of videos, first of all, that are entertaining. If you can use trending soundtracks, trending transitions like this one here. This was the Infinity transition from a few years ago that this artist has used. Dead simple video. You can jump on these creative tools and use that to entertain your audience. It can be 5-second videos, but you're jumping on a trend and hopefully gaining traction from that. Ryanair, as I said, do that same kind of thing as well. So have a look at some of these examples and try and find out what the trends are. I've kind of shared some of these twice because they're so short. Or just using fast-paced music to show lots of visuals and entertain people. There's a good example of that in the link. And finally, skit videos. You can just appear on camera and talk to people, but if you're into acting and being a bit entertaining, skit videos are where you've probably seen them, where the one person takes on 2 roles and they kind of have a conversation with themselves. That's a really great way to entertain and educate at the same time. You have one person as the tourist, where should I visit in Scotland? What's the best walk to take? What museum should I visit? And then you appear answering those questions. And there's an example of one of those types of videos in the link. This is all examples from at Skye Cottages, who are not based in Skye, Scotland, but they're in Cornwall. And this is about inspiring people, get them to taste the holiday before they're even there. This is just one short video, just sharing the sound of the sea with a quick text. Is there a better sound, or is there a better feeling? Here's one, best-selling books that you could read in the shepherd's hut. And it's dead simple. It was about 6 or 7 clips with these recommended books to give people that sense of inspiration of wanting to cozy up in one of these holidays. Or enticing eating options in Cornwall. Again, inspire people to think about their stomachs and maybe come and visit you, book with your holiday cottage as a result of seeing what wonderful places there are to visit nearby. And finally, educate, whether that's about the destinations or whether that's educating people just about your business and what you do. Talk to people, tell them what to expect. This is a great video from a tour guide, what to expect when you arrive at Royal Mile Station. He says everybody humps their suitcases up these steps because they think it's the quickest way to the Royal Mile. But actually, this is a much more pleasant experience to roll your suitcase along here and then you very quickly get to the Royal Mile, and it's just a time-lapse video, and he's added a voiceover afterwards. So there's a few other educational examples there, answering specific questions or just taking folks behind the scenes of your business and educating them about what you do. So quickly, how to create a TikTok. There's some suggestions there about kit. I would recommend, if you're going to talk on camera, get a microphone that you can plug into your camera so that the microphone's close to your mouth and you get good quality sound. You don't have to do it straight away, but I think it's something really, really worthwhile. It can make a massive difference. And there's some suggestions about lights, but I'm going to skip through that quickly and let you know about how you can edit, first of all, in TikTok. And there's a link to a tutorial about how to do that, a really detailed tutorial about all the ins and outs of it. But you can also use a third-party app. You could just film everything in your normal camera app on your phone, and then you can edit it all either using CapCut or VN. Those are the two best free apps, most accessible free apps at the moment. I prefer to teach people how to edit using VN because I think if you've never edited before, it's much easier to get your head round than CapCut because of the layout of it. However, CapCut is much more popular these days and has integration with TikTok, so you can import music directly from TikTok and use it in CapCut editor. So it's up to you. There's a tutorial there for both of them, but this means that you can make your video and edit it in this app, but then when you export it by pressing this button up here, you've now got an MP4 file that you can share to all the different platforms. You're not limited to just sharing it on TikTok. So I think that's really powerful. Briefly, there are some advantages of making your video in TikTok. One is that you get direct access to the soundtracks. So if you want to dance or you want to lip sync, you kind of want to make it in TikTok because you just add your soundtrack and then press record, and then you can do everything at the right time. You can also use tools like their timer button, which lets you select the right section of the music to record in, and also actually, record in individual little chunks, in 3-second chunks. Really do explore that tool. The timer tool is more than just a countdown tool to recording. It's really worth looking into. The other really useful tool, I think, for recording your videos in TikTok is video record speed. So if you're trying to dance to a track or lip sync and it's far too fast for you, you can select a 0.5 record speed and the soundtrack will play back at half speed, really slow. And that lets you hit all the right notes and hit all the right marks. And then when you play it back, it's all speeded up. And you look a bit like Charlie Chaplin, but it's good fun to play around with. So those are two tools maybe to explore in terms of recording inside TikTok that you can't do just on your phone. Once you've recorded, you simply press the tick to move on, and then you've got all your editing options. And I won't take you through all of these because it's all covered in that tutorial where there's a link to it. The one thing that I will highlight is captions. I mentioned that earlier. I would add auto-generated captions inside TikTok because then all the words that you're speaking, all those keywords, are going to help the algorithm push you in front of the right audience. And also adding your text titles. Again, they're going to be searchable by the algorithm, so use that. There is a really advanced editor in TikTok now. It's called TikTok Studio. That's what the tutorial takes you through. You press that button and you come to this screen, and it's exactly like editing in CapCut or in VN. You can do everything that you could possibly need to do in an editor inside TikTok, if that's what you choose. When you come to post, make sure you do select a cover image here, because you want people to be able to see that thumbnail when they visit their profile page. You want them to see it really clearly so they can find other content that they think is interesting. And also just be aware that, it used to be on the posting page, the privacy settings, but actually the privacy settings are now all the way back here in your editing page. So if you don't want people to be able to duet or stitch with you, make sure you turn that off in the privacy settings at that stage. Okay, finally, I'm just going to very quickly maybe give you a chance for questions. I've just got some slides here that you can look at in the PDF about measuring your success, and give yourself measurable goals that are smart targets, if you like. Set an objective. What do you want to achieve in the next month? Describe, what does success look like? Is it having a bigger audience? Is it having more people signing up? Is it having more people signing up to your newsletter? Give yourself these smart targets so that you can easily measure that success based on the content you're creating. And the Business Suite gives you great analytics. You can get a real overview of how much engagement your videos are getting. You can see which ones work best for you. Like for me, the tutorial videos always work best, so I know I should always make more of those content. You can break down your audience by age and location. So it's really powerful analytics in the Business Suite, and probably worth signing up for the business account based on that alone. So I'm going to stop now for questions. I'll let also Andrew come on and maybe talk through some of these slides and have a look at some of the questions and see if we can make sure we answer them before the end of the session.
Emma, thank you so much. That was phenomenal and bang on with the time as well. Thank you. So helpful. So much I learned that I think I'll definitely be watching this recording again on TikTok. I love the stuff about the music that you can add, and just being careful when you're adding music that it's the royalty-free side of things as well. And I know TikTok has got a whole library of royalty-free music that you can use in conjunction. And I certainly, that little point that you made there about choosing when you want a specific section of music to play, I think that's so crucial on TikTok videos as well. So much of the emphasis in a TikTok video comes from, so for example, if somebody is doing a jump into water, a beach resort or something like that, at the point when they hit the water, they've got that sort of emphasis and coming from the music as well. So yeah, brilliant to highlight things like that. It's just key things that are so crucial on a platform like TikTok. Very quickly, I'll go through some. If you're using TikTok or Instagram or any of the social media any of the social media platforms, then you're able to tie these up, tie your own marketing to that of Visit Scotland, and there's a link on screen that you can see there. All of the slides will be shared with all of you afterwards, so don't worry about not being able to get a note of that just now. If we can just flick on to the next screen, thanks, Emma. Don't think it, yeah. Then we have, oh, that's one too many. Our main campaign at the moment is our main hashtag, sorry, if you're using hashtags, yeah, that's the one, is Scotland is calling, and there's information about that again at the bottom of this slide there, which will be distributed. You can use that hashtag on any of the main social media platforms. Visit Scotland uses that hashtag Scotland is calling, all of the time on TikTok, for example, as well as using other relevant hashtags that are appropriate to the particular video that we're sharing. And then I think the next slide is maybe this penultimate one. Yeah, that's if your business is based in and around the Central Belt or the south of Scotland, then something that you should all be aware of is the UCI Cycling World Championships that are coming up later on this year, at the start of August, first week or two in August. And if you're not aware of that, take a look at our support guide, our toolkit on that, and see ways and ideas in which we might be able to help you, or things that might be able to help you attract the what's estimated to be millions of visitors who will attend, or who will come to Scotland to participate in the UCI World Championships. And then my final slide for now is on some of the support that we give to you. Thanks very much. We've got further webinars coming up over the next few weeks in conjunction with Digital Boost. Details of Business Gateway's Digital Boost program, details of all of those can be found at visitscotland.org/tourism webinars, and all of these links will be included in the slide pack that will be sent out to you. And one final thing that we always offer in these sessions is a free Visit Scotland digital review, and I've put the link in the chat just now. You can request a free Visit Scotland digital review of your online presence, of everything that you're doing online, with one of our industry relationship managers, and they'll be in touch with you over the forthcoming weeks to arrange that. All we'd ask is that you're an active and tourism business, and that it's not suitable for businesses that are not yet operating, or startups. So all we'd ask is that you're an active tourism business. The link is in the chat, and again, it will also be shared in the email, the follow-up email that comes out over the forthcoming days. And then I think that's it from me. I think there's a slide, Amy, right at the end here of feedback for today's session. The website address for that is businessgatewayfeedback.com, and the code for today is 1FC68. Yep, spot on. So
Yeah, I've just
we always like
posted
to get
that.
feedback on these sessions to hear what you've got to say.
Yeah, we really do value the feedback, and I've also just been typing some answers to some people's questions there. So if you did ask a question that I didn't get round to, have a look at what I've typed, and I've shared the link to the slides as well. Again, Digital Boost TikTok Tourism.
Brilliant. Emma, thanks again so much for your time today, and for being on this session and giving such inspiring and useful content on TikTok. Really appreciate that. And everyone else, we'll see you all again soon for the next session in conjunction with Visit Scotland and Business Gateway. Take care and have a good rest of the day. Thanks now. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, bye.